Welcome to DRB Training. In this video, we will be giving an overview of the fleet account creation process inside of the Beacon Mobile portal. To begin creating a fleet account, select the Fleet Account menu on the left of the Beacon Mobile portal. From here you can view and edit previously created fleet accounts, as well as add new ones. Let's create a new fleet account together by selecting the Add Fleet Account button towards the top. First, let's enter the company name for the fleet. I will be adding an account for Akron Uber. Next is usage limits. Usage limits can be a certain number of usages per week or month, and it's important to note that usage limits are per driver in a fleet, not for the entire fleet as a whole. We recommend not capping usage limits, as this will reduce the maximum possible sales that can be generated from a fleet. Unless the manager of this fleet, in my case my contact with Akron Uber, states specifically in negotiations that they want limits, I won't mention this outright. On to discount threshold and discount percentage. These two fields work together to set what dollar amount in sales the fleet must reach before receiving a certain discount percentage. For instance, if I set my threshold to $500 and my percentage to 10%, this fleet account will receive a 10% discount off of any purchases after the initial $500 of sales. No monthly charge is asking whether or not the fleet account in question should be billed monthly. In the cases of prepaid accounts or possible accounts that work with local government, this would normally be set to yes. For all other customers that should be billed monthly, set this to no. Manual invoice only should be set to yes for non-monthly invoiced fleet accounts. This will send those accounts a zero balance invoice, meaning nothing is immediately owed, but payment is expected in 30 days. Set this to no for all other accounts, especially if you select no in the previous no monthly charge field. Email invoice only to car wash will send the invoice only to the car wash if yes is selected, and to both the account manager and the car wash if set to no. The relationship with this individual fleet will determine how the invoices should be mailed, but generally this is set to no. You can optionally add in Stripe's processing fees, which for credit cards will be 2.9% plus 30 cents, and for ACH will be 0.08%, capped at $5. By default, a fleet account is able to redeem any available wash package. We can restrict a fleet to only be able to purchase specific services at our washes. Select the Manage Restrictions button at the bottom to begin. Next, select Manage Fleet Account Wash Restrictions. Here we want to check mark any and all services that the fleet account should be limited to redeeming. Scroll down to the bottom once finished and hit Save Selected Restrictions. The next step in creating this fleet account is to assign a fleet account manager. But to do so, we must first save our fleet account. Select Save, and then hit the Edit Fleet Account button to the right of the newly created fleet account. Now we must enter information for the fleet account manager, such as their first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Selecting the Send Email Invitation to Manager link next to the Fleet Account Manager header here will send an email to the manager that will say, "Welcome to the name of your car wash. Download the app to continue." The email will contain an automatically generated username and password for them to use. The Fleet Account Manager will have the ability to enter the payment credentials that will be used to pay for the services rendered to this account, as well as enter their drivers as Fleet Account members or edit existing drivers. Note, if the Fleet Account Manager is also a driver, they themselves will need a separate entry as a Fleet Account member or driver with a different email address than what was used in setting them up as the account manager in order for them to redeem services at the wash. When it comes to fleet account members from the Beacon Mobile portal, we do not recommend that the operator of the car wash manage the drivers for a fleet, as this is an avenue of fraud. Operators of the car wash typically do not know when drivers for a fleet quit, so it should be on the fleet account manager to manage their own drivers. As for the payment methods that a fleet account manager can use, it can either be a credit card or ACH bank account. The fleet account will be immediately active upon a credit card being entered. The card will not be charged, but it will be scanned to make sure it isn't blacklisted by the Stripe credit card processor. If they enter an ACH bank account, Stripe will deposit two small amounts to their account. The fleet manager must confirm with Stripe via email that they received the deposits before the account will be active for use. Invoices for the account will begin to be sent every 30 days after account activation, whether there has been account activity or not. It's important to note that these processes for payment entry and verification are once again the responsibility of the fleet manager and not the car wash operator. Thanks for watching this Beacon Mobile training video. If you have any questions, reach out to beaconmobile@drb.com.